Past 4 months, 3, 4 months, we ain't been sleeping in the same bed,
Yeah, I
right?
sleep
Yeah,
downstairs.
and it wasn't like a conscious decision. You crying? Why you crying?
I think it's just made me feel like unconsciously kind of bad
Why?
because I know it's something that I do enjoy. I do enjoy sleeping by myself at night. I enjoy that personal time for myself. I guess sometimes I feel like I may be taking something from you. And that's why I make sure that
Hmm.
I'm with you when you fall asleep,
Mm-hmm.
acknowledging it's something that I do need. And I didn't know that I needed it
Right.
until it started
Right.
happening.
Organically.
Yeah, because I was just having so many night sweats and uncomfortable, and
Mm-hmm.
then I would start my cycle, and it was just like, okay, I do need
Mm-hmm.
room
Mm-hmm.
to just not have the eye.
Yeah.
That's what made me
Why?
tear up is the
Why?
onlooking eye.
Mm.
And for the longest time, like I said, I've always been afraid of being seen, even though people always see me. I've never allowed anybody to see the truth of who I am, ever. Everybody has gotten the version of Candace that I've wanted them to get. The only person that's ever been able to see the truth of who I am is you. How exhausting is it to the persona that can't hide?
Mm.
There's nowhere to go.
Mm.
And sometimes
Why?
hiding isn't just about like protecting something. It's just like, even like if you're in a crowded room, some people go to the bathroom just to
Hey.
catch their breath.
Hey.
Some people go sit in a car just to catch their breath and just have that sensation of alone time. And I felt like I didn't want to compromise my need for that. And I also didn't want to rob you of the intimacy that
Mm.
you deserve and that I actually want to give. So it has been difficult for me to fully accept that it's okay, even knowing that it's okay, knowing that it's a need, but I haven't wanted to take that experience from you, even though I know that you're okay with it.
The fact that we able to do that and not trip either way, and like I said, I feel happy that you get to have that space. So you ain't got to worry about Doc's feeling away. You ain't got to worry about taking nothing from me. And the moments that we do get to fall asleep together, it mean that much more. The moments where you make sure you fall asleep with me before you mosey downstairs at 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm still knocked out, it mean more. So you ain't got to trip about that. No pressure on that. We could do this for the rest of our life if that's what's called for.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
You believe me? You
Yes.
trust me?
Yes.
Okay.
In the summer, silk in the winter. This is such an art. Where do I begin? Used to sing tenor in the church choir. Really, I was flexing, but the girls they were fine. I'm that type of guy that notice subtle signs when I cuddle mine. She ain't even trying to look sexy, but leather in the.
Woo. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm so glad it's Friday. And after seeing that first video, thank God it's Friday. Welcome to another edition of Let It Be Known.
Peace and love, everybody, and happy Mandela Day.
Yes,
And
that
we're
was
gonna
that.
yes, today is Mandela Day, Stacy, and
That's
we're
awesome.
gonna have some news about Mandela Day a little bit later in the show. And of course, with the first video, we do have some more news. Now that was about a married couple, but Stacy, we have some news about women and relationships a little bit later in the show. The ESPY
Hey,
Awards. So we're gonna have a
sit this
little
one out.
feel good Friday, but
Oh,
of
Lord, it's about
course, we have to
relationship.
tackle the bullshit first. Okay, we're gonna tackle the bullshit first.
y'all know this. Y'all know this woman is 1000% a black woman. She's just all. Oh man, she's talking about
Yeah,
92%. She just.
but I
Oh
think the first video, just to touch on it a
yeah.
little bit.
Wait. You should
Um,
let me go first so you can bring some sanity after I finish.
oh well, I just wanted to say I think it comes with the older you get. The older you get. Now take it
Uh,
away.
oh Lord. First and foremost, why everybody want to be a philosopher? What did my man with the big nose, the rapper with the big nose say, KRS say, you're a philosopher. I think very deeply. Give me a break. Everybody want to be all this thought king and thought queen or whatever. Listen, if I don't know if that couple was married or not, but you married, you go to bed together. You got your period, so what? So what? It's your period. Ain't nothing happening, right? And
It
you,
depends. Some people, there were
oh,
just some
yeah.
women the
I want
other
that
day,
visual.
but there was just a conversation with some young girls. Who was it? It was some rapper girl, and I'm just saying that ain't for everybody. Just like what you're saying, I think the flip side of that is if you married to death do you part, sometimes you may need your own bedroom. You got
I
you
get
got folk,
I get my own bedroom when I have to travel and I'm on the road by myself. We go to NMPA conferences or whatever. That's more than enough. The whole time we in Atlanta, a few weeks ago, and it's like all week. I switched my flight from Sunday to Saturday. Listen, I ain't doing that single. I didn't get married to sleep alone. That's not no. We got an issue. Listen, you've been preaching too about don't let the sun set or whatever, and you in a provoked state or whatever you say.
don't let the
Listen,
sun go down on your anger.
right,
That's what I said.
right.
Don't let the
That's what you
sun go
said.
down on your anger.
And my thing is angry, happy, whatever. We going to we pulling covers together.
It's funny that you say that because back in the day, Stacy, I mean, I remember Lucy and they had twin beds. So,
See, all those shows had twin beds.
yeah, I mean, during that time, they
I
slept
was like, where
in
the kids come
separate
from?
beds.
Where the kids come from then? Shoot.
And then sometimes people snore. And so if you're with somebody for a long time, they have that apnea machine. Hey, I love you, but I'll see you in the morning for coffee.
Ain't
And then
nothing like
sometimes you sleep together. I just think it's to each his own because that works for some people.
ain't nothing like you laying there with if you a man and you got a woman with the body. Like I love my wife's body. Ain't nothing like my hand just sliding down that back, even though I'm asleep or she's
No,
asleep.
some
She can
women
snore.
women
She
go
can do
through
whatever.
menopause. Women go through menopause and all that heat and the covers on, covers off. Sometimes, I mean, it's a lot of shit that
Yeah,
happens, Stacy. And so,
I get it. I
hey,
get it. You talking about personal space. You didn't get married to have personal space. I
look,
don't care about
Nancy
that.
Wall said it's the couple's decision. Nancy, I'm with you. To eat whatever
Listen.
floats your boat. Linda Mathis, yes, they snore. Yeah, the apnea
So
machine, all that noise.
listen.
I'm trying to watch.
If I'm downstairs, if I'm all the way downstairs and I feel the need, I gotta climb the steps to satisfy my needs. No, I'm gonna roll over.
Okay, let's get to some stuff. Michelle Madison says, I met Nelson Mandela through Dr. Ben Chavis when he was at the NAACP.
Wow.
What an honor. Yes, today is Mandela Day, okay?
No, but let me say this. ONG be coming through too. He says if I have to sleep by myself, I will stop paying the bills. Now I might get kicked out of the bed when I drink too much OE 800.
Like I said, to each his own, and everybody got to deal with their man and their woman the way it works best for their
No,
household.
but seriously though, I mean that's how I feel about it. I ain't trying to sleep separately, but I get it. Some people want their own little space. I think it's a dangerous thing, but I get it. She says she needs some personal space. He said he might. I think he agreed that there may be a need for some personal
They're
space.
a very young couple, though. That's what I would say. Like when you're that age, you really want to be up under somebody. But the older you get, the longer you live together, y'all become partners, friends, know each other in and out. Sometimes,
Yeah.
you want your space. I want to
Michelle-
watch my
Hey.
soap operas and lay in the bed, and you want to watch your sports in your boxers and hold your thing or whatever it is y'all do. Do the Fred Bundy and stick it in your pants. I don't know what y'all be doing, but hey, hey, I'm just saying,
Michelle, wait a minute though. I'm throwing the flag on Michelle Madison. She said I can sleep no matter who is in my bed. I have 99 problems, but sleeping isn't one. Wait a minute now. Look, I'm like Dawn. Wait a minute now. Dawn would say, "Wait a minute now."
So.
Listen, it is an interesting thing, but to see Gris says they're in their 40s. They're good for them. They look good. But it's really interesting to see. I still say a young couple. I don't care 40s or not. They look like a young couple. It's interesting to see a young couple talk about this, sleeping in separate beds. So
Yeah. Lucy
Boy,
and
it is.
Lucy and Ricky did it.
L-
They had twin beds. And I watched, let me just say this. I watched the Alfred Hitchcock movie about
Oh,
the
I like
making of
Alfred.
Psycho. It was about the making of Psycho,
Mhm.
right? And how the movie theater didn't want to give him the money, so he funded it himself, but that's not why I'm talking about it. But him and his wife slept in the same room, but they had twin beds.
Did you know? Did you notice? Because I'm a big classic movie fan. I think I've seen every classic movie. And sometimes I turn the movie on and I'm like, okay, I start watching. Oh, I've seen this already. But most of them, I think all of them, it was something back there in the 1950s, 1940s and stuff,
Mhm.
and the 60s too, for that matter, where they had to show them in separate beds. They talking about it was European. They got it from Europe. Come on, how you making kids if you're sleeping in
Look,
separate beds?
you know what? Let's not start talking about them immigrants, them white
Oh,
undocumented immigrants
oh,
that
okay.
bombarded themselves over to this country, and now they
Okay.
want to act like they not immigrant. Let's not even go there.
Oh boy, but I don't know. You know, Mike V be calling you out on some things. Almost every show he calls you out on stuff. Mike V he said, Neil, don't know. He says, don't know. Say nothing about you and that daggone Mustang you be spending time on. I didn't know about the Mustang, but you and Mike
I
V
mean,
know
he
something.
must have been digging through my social media, because I ain't posted Cabrini in a long time.
Cabrini.
Yeah, so I have a 1966 Mustang that I
Mustang
was
Sally.
gifted, and before my grandfather passed, he tried to take it from me, and so it's actually sitting in his garage, my grandparents' garage, waiting for me to do something with it. But yeah, and her name is Cabrini because she's
Oh,
green, and she was named after the Cabrini projects
in
in
Chicago.
Chicago. You know, good times, all that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Cabrini.
Oh gosh, I tell
Thanks,
you
Mike
what.
V.
Oh,
That's not Cabrini
nice.
though, but she looks like that, and she's like more of a. Is that a mid? Well, she's green, but
Oh,
yeah, that looks
nice.
like Cabrini. Mhm.
Boy, oh boy! Now I know one of my chores whenever I get back out to Los Angeles, I got to come see Cabrini.
Yeah.
Goodness grief! It is Happy Swag T-shirt day. That's right. It's the summer, so it's not hoodie. It's T-shirt day as Orangey rocks Texas Southern University's shirt. Yesterday was SWAC Media Day, and our own the wonderful Dawn Montgomery and the amazing eToro were there to take it all in at the Sheraton Birmingham. All 12 SWAC head football coaches and 2 student athletes from each team were in attendance to address the media regarding the upcoming football season. The league they also announced, I should say, the 2025 SWAC football predicted order of finish. So I think we got do we have a video or something, Greer?
My name is Ty Floyd, multimedia sports journalist and the first play-by-play commentator to hold this position at an HBCU and be the voice of an HBCU football team.
How did this come about? Because one of the things that I think our audience is going to need to know, you're the first. So let me emphasize that you're the first. How did that idea come about? Because you've been doing the work. How did that come about?
Sideline, the window of women who want to do it is so large.
Yes.
Because I feel like that's the only thing that we see.
Yes.
Growing up, we've seen women like Pam Oliver, Laura Oakman, Tiffany Blackman, Larisha Harris, but to be able to hear someone in the booth didn't happen so recently with Tiffany Green.
With Tiffany Green, right.
So to be able to see her do it and to even get a couple nudges, like, hey, maybe this is what you should do.
Yeah.
It finally came into fruition with an opening at Alabama A&M, and I just told them I'm ready and I'm going to do the work and I'm going to be successful in this, and they gave me a shot, so I'm excited to.
So what's your biggest goal this season, just besides making history, but how are you trying to show up on camera or off camera and all of the things? Because this is your talent now. You're an official, part of this university and their program. So how does that feel? And big commitment for you.
I mean, to me, it was kind of like another...
They're doing things. She love her sports, that's for sure. But look who's in the building. Southbound 3000 JSU in the building. I love. He says he's about to run it back to back. But SWAC Media Day, I'm sure they seem to have a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, it's nothing like a HBCU, and so I was just looking. I'm not sure, but I know a lot of people are excited to see what Michael Vick is going to do at Norfolk State University.
Yeah.
And so when you see all of these NFL black men going and coaching at HBCUs, it's not that we didn't know that they were great, but it elevates the conversation of our schools. So
Yeah.
I love that for us. You see Jackson State, Prairie View, Grambling State University is a SWAC team. You know, I went to
Mhm.
Grambling, and it's our big Gram Fam weekend here in California. So Grambling alumni and students from all across the country are headed here to LA to represent Grand Fam. And so the HBCU experience is just such a beautiful thing. And you know, to see our football and our sports programs elevated and SWAC doing that, and then seeing them being integrated in what's happening with the NCAA, it's exciting. It's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. Orange G says he doesn't trust SWAC predictions. He says SWAC football is any given Saturday. I guess that's what makes it even more exciting, and especially with the transfer portal and NIL. In fact, we're going to get into something about the NIL in a few moments. Really, some crazy stuff going on there too.
Well, let's
But
talk about it now. I mean, since we're on the subject, let's go. What we
well,
got?
I figured we do a little build up to it, you know. But since you insist, you in
Yeah,
that
let's go.
green that green Mustang that you got, but that dictator on Pennsylvania Avenue wants to gut the NIL revolution, the system that finally lets college athletes, many of them black, profit from their own name and talent. He's reportedly working on an executive order to cap earnings, deny players employee status, and give control back to the same schools that have exploited them for decades. And folks, this isn't about fairness, it's about fear. Powerhouse programs like Alabama are losing top recruits to schools with deeper NIL pockets, and instead of adapting, they're running to Trump for a bailout. So let's be clear, this is all about sabotage. When young athletes finally get leverage, Trump steps in to snatch it away. So this is Neil, this guy will make sure to ruin everything.
Yeah, the more he does, and looking at AI and how he's moving, he wants to control the wealth, and he only wants it for a few people. And he just wants it to be that he literally wants to take us back to the have and have nots, rich or poor. He doesn't want anybody to have the whole thing about the American dream to me is that anything is possible.
Right.
Like I could get my piece of the pie.
Right.
And the way that this administration is moving is that they're taking that whole concept of that dream away from us. Anytime you have an opportunity to advance or get ahead in a skill set that you overachieve in, they want to take it away. They don't want you to have no education. They don't want you to have no NIL deals. They don't want you to have healthy food. They don't want you to be able to fly on airplanes. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we have advanced, they just want to strip it away, and they want to be here, and they want us here.
Yeah, and NIL has really these name and likeness deals. First and foremost, it was a long time coming. For decades, folks were talking about college athletes being paid, and the argument was that they get a scholarship and it's worth X amount of dollars. Well, okay, then my position was always okay. If you feel that way, deduct the amount of the scholarship, right? And just give them, pay them the what they are making your school. You pay these coaches millions upon millions of dollars. And so the NIL situation came about, and not only is it working, but now you're seeing players stay for the full 4 years.
But the portal is messing them up. They don't.
And
That portal lets you.
Comes, yeah.
It gives them too much freedom to make decisions for themselves. And another purpose of the NIL deal is, like you were saying, the coaches get paid money, but all of the money they make on the games, from the ticket sales to the concession stands to the paraphernalia, all the money that they're making off the backs of these players. And you're saying that you should feel privileged that we paid for your education.
Right. Exactly. Unbelievable. And you know, the other part of it that is not talked about enough is when these players go on to become stars, superstars, they never forget their alma maters.
Mhm.
And that in itself, when you have a big time star, Michael Jordan or LeBron James or you know, Michael
Shaquille
Strahan
O'Neal, you know,
go back,
LSU.
go
Mhm.
back to that in itself is bringing even more revenue just on a visit. A
Right.
public visit back to the alma mater when they sit courtside at their alma mater's game, that means millions for them.
Mhm. For
Give me
sure.
a break. And a little bit more on this Friday on the dictator in chief. An innocent hit to Trump and his DOJ. An innocent young black woman's life is worth just one day. The Justice Department is asking that a former police officer found guilty of violating the civil rights of Breonna Taylor when she was shot and killed by police in her Louisville home be sentenced to just one day in jail. The officer, Brett Hankinson of Kentucky, was convicted on one count of abusing Taylor's civil rights last year after firing several shots through her bedroom window during that ill-fated police raid. He is set to be sentenced this coming Monday. And Trump's DOJ says, just give him one day in jail. When do you ever see prosecutors do something like that?
Yeah, and I didn't like that they did it yesterday as we were stirring up good trouble. So our intention now, like I say, they ancestors' wildest dreams, and so are we. Because while we are working on good trouble, they're like, checkmate. Remember her? All that shit y'all did, and you know that's how they talk. All that stuff y'all did in Kentucky, we don't care. Black lives don't matter, and that's why organizations like Until Freedom, Tamika Mallory was on the forefront there, and so many others. You know, Lee Merritt, Ben Crump, you know, that whole 2020 era, you know, when we look at DEI being taken away, when we think about what they're talking about with Derek Chauvin, that whole year swell, Breonna Taylor was a part of that. And, you know, her family did receive some justice. They were, you know, paid some millions of dollars, but that can never put the price on somebody's life, ever, never. And it's just that yesterday, that's the headline that broke my heart.
Yeah.
It just broke my heart.
Obviously. Yeah, understandably, I should say. One day. And that just means that he's done because they said time served, really.
Basically.
Time served.
And I mean, and then the officer who fatally shot Amir Locke, this came out yesterday, is now leading use of force training in Minneapolis. Okay, so Amir wasn't a suspect. He was asleep, shot within seconds during a no-knock raid in 2020. Same type scenario, officer involved in that. He's doing use of force training. It was use of force that killed Breonna Taylor. It was use of force that killed Amir Locke. And police sanctioned violence thrives in the Trump Klan administration.
Well, without question, and it's only getting worse. This guy, like I said, you want to come on here. Folks want to, you know, go on social media, go on our chats and comments, and talk about their support of Trump. Yeah. Okay.
David Youngblood said, like I said, we need a let's all go to jail day. I mean, if we all going, I'm down. If we all go, let's all go. Let's all go. Look, they'll FOFA and send us to Alcatraz, alligator Alcatraz.
You,
like,
you ain't lying.
You
ain't lying. That's what
wait a minute.
Like, we ain't signed up for this.
But you know, it's getting to that point though. It really is. I mean, enough is enough.
You know, the dam has to break at some point. It really
The
does. Something's gonna happen. And it's just a matter of, you know, that clock is ticking, the sand's running out of the hourglass. Something's going to happen, Niel.
yeah, I
This
agree.
is untenable. It's untenable.
I agree.
Goodness grief. How much more can people take? People say, I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired.
I'm
I'm
sick
tired of
and
being sick.
tired. No, I'm sick and
Tired.
tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah, yeah. And Nancy says the Epstein files, hey, he's going nuts with that. Now he when have you ever seen that? I mean, I know that it wasn't until really his first administration that social media really was big, because even when Obama was president, social media still hadn't grown to where it is now. So but when have you seen a president use the media in any form to constantly to call people names, to talk about suing people? Now he wants to sue the Wall Street Journal. These were his people. Rupert Murdoch, his
He
boy.
called Rupert. He called him and told
I
him
know.
don't run the story.
He called the reporter. And the reporter, good for the reporter, used his words in the story too. The reporter did what he was supposed to do, gave Trump's side of the story. And he's saying that he is going to sue them like I did 60 Minutes and Paramount, like I did ABC. This is what he said.
Well,
This
you know
guy is
what?
diabolical.
I think though that if he decides to sue, he's going to be in a world of trouble because there are way too many pictures to prove the
Well,
point that
that's-
you are lying, sir. You are friends, okay? It's too many pictures of you touching on the dance floor, have girls sitting on your lap in private jets, and every picture, him or the woman is sitting next to you, and your wife
Yeah.
too. My mother said last night, she said Melania was human trafficked. Don't get it twisted. I was like, oh.
Dr. Nicole said there's no way this man is going to last 4 years. Plus, you got that vein situation, and as RNG says, probably more than just that. But you know how
for
his
sure.
feet swell up and
Them
everything.
elephant, he got elephant ankles. That's what they call them, elephant ankles. Okay.
Elephant ankles.
And then he has makeup on his hands covering up the bruises. You know,
Right.
he's messed up inside and out.
Well, and right, Dr. Joni, it certainly isn't like the Wall Street Journal or some lefty liberal issue. Suing is the worst idea. The discovery alone will sink him and keep this in the news for weeks and weeks.
Sure.
And MB, I'm with MB. MB says he's going to die when he's 100. Evil lives a long time.
Look at them
I always
elephant
say
ankles.
that.
Look at them
Because-
elephant ankles. Look at them.
And look, and this is not it. He now Trump's handpicked judge has blocked a rule that would have wiped medical debt off the credit reports of 15 million people. That's $49 billion in debt gone. But instead, it stays. Remember, last year, Biden had gotten the FC, whoever it was, to pass a rule that eliminated medical debt from your credit report, that didn't allow that to go on your credit report. And that was big because medical debt, listen, they're gutting everything now. So it's even more important now. But Trump and his allies, they are prioritizing the protection of credit bureaus and debt collectors over the needs of struggling families that their policies are making struggle even more. People are now being punished for getting sick, locked out of homes and jobs because of broken medical billing systems, and Trump is making it worse. This guy continues to stomp on the working class and the poor.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to my point. He does not want anybody to get their slice of the pie. He wants to control who becomes rich. He wants to keep us all bogged down with debt, so that all of his rich friends, and he wants to decide what people are allowed into that box. That's how I feel like he's moving. And it's just sickening. You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't, healthcare is free in other countries. It's free. And it's not hurting those countries. It's not hurting them at all. And so for us to be able to have just a little breathing air, it's like he's sucking it all out of us.
Yeah, yeah, um, yeah. Dr. Nicole says what he don't have is a bullet wound on his ear.
Ooh. You know, there's right, and there's a trend going around on social media. Did it happen yet? When is it gonna happen?
Oh no!
You know what I'm
But
talking about, right? They say, you know what I'm talking about,
You
right?
know what I'm talking about.
And that's it. That's all they say. And I'm like, people are, it's just funny.
But you know, Dr. Joni is right too. She says about the medical debt situation, it was such an important policy accomplishment to get medical debt removed from the credit reports. Many families go bankrupt based solely on medical debt. This is nothing but cruelty.
Yeah.
And Nancy Wall brings up a great point. She says, why is everything through an executive order? Now, it was a time until this year that executive orders was really just almost not necessarily meaningless,
But
symbolic pretty
the
much,
symbolic
right?
gesture to move a certain policy forward, and the
Right.
president, you know, using his power to say, this is how I'm moving. But like I say, Donald Trump has pushed the powers of that office and showed you that it has more power than anybody has ever used, because everybody has practiced decorum, right? Like, I'm not, but he's like, no, I am going to push it to the limits and show you how much power this office has.
Mhm.
And he has no respect for it. And he,
And-
you know, another thing, not to go backwards, but it just popped in my eye with like decorum and that office, how he's transformed that Oval Office into a tacky, gold, gaudy room. They compared the picture to Jeffrey Epstein's, one of the rooms in his house, and they look identical.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
The fireplace
Yeah.
situation, it looks identical. That just popped in my head. But he's just so he has
He's
taken that
ghetto.
White House. Thank you. The people's house is now
Yeah.
the ghetto house.
I mean, look, we already had it as a Tesla showroom, right? They're gonna have a UFC event, big UFC
If it
right
if
there at
he
the White
makes
House.
it.
If he makes it, it's the ghetto.
And
It's
then
absolutely
he
ghetto.
pulled up the rose garden and made it a big slab of concrete like he's in a prison.
Yeah, yeah. Imagine that. And now look at all the history of that rose garden. Gosh, it meant nothing to him.
I bet you Michelle Obama's garden is gone.
Oh
Good.
God, that was the first to go.
Can't find a tomato or cucumber nowhere.
Oh my God, it's horrible. Let's switch gears if we can. Here's quite an amazing story, Niel.
Mhm.
It defies both science and all odds. Naze Drake, a 26-year-old Black mother from Apple Valley, California, has defied astronomical odds by giving birth to all 4 of her children on the exact same date,
Wow.
July 7th, but in different years. She most recently welcomed her newborn son, Kai Loa, on July 7th, joining his 3 siblings, Kiwan, Nazale, and Kaylan. These are African. I can't pronounce these names, folks. But each of whom
Her baby.
they were all born on July 7th. Remarkably, none of the births were induced, and none of the children shared the same due date. Miss Drake says she was completely astonished when baby number 4 arrived on the same day. While thrilled, she admitted feeling somewhat sad for missing yet another birthday party due to going into labor. She had them all on the same day. Now she's not, so folks, you know, those other folks who might be watching and seeing this Black woman with 4 kids, she's not just a I'm having babies with different fathers type mother. This woman is a nurse who is working on another degree, and she is doing quite well. So good for her. But that is really amazing. They all
Yeah.
was born on the same date. Now I have, just real quick, I have two brothers born 8 years, 9 years apart, and on the same day.
Mm-hmm. Okay, my mother and my grandfather, the late Robert Anderson, they have the same birthday, born on the same day. It happens. That stories like that reminds me that with God, anything is possible. Okay, and so although we are under right now, anything is possible. If she could have all her babies on one day, God could turn all of this around in the blink of an eye. Okay, and so I look at that as a sign of hope. Her babies.
Her babies. Wow, it's a great story. I like that story.
Mm-hmm.
And look
Very
at them.
nice.
Look at those. Look at that family. Nice looking family.
For
Oh,
sure. Dr. Marilyn says it costs more to be poor. Poverty benefits the rich. Yeah.
yep. And Dr. Nicole says this is black media. We didn't think that. So
Okay.
that's right.
All
That's right.
right, couple more headlines to get through. A San Francisco judge has ruled Don Lemon's 1.5 million lawsuit against Elon Musk and X can proceed to trial. Now, Lemon alleges Musk canceled their partnership hours after a tense interview, violating an implied contract and committing fraud by a false promise. And so, and you know, Don Lemon is ready for the smoke. He is ready to get things started with Sir Elon Musk.
Okay. Then bring it on. That's good. Hey, you can't let people off the hook like that. People like that, you can't let them off the hook. So
Not at all.
Don obviously has a strong case. We know Don doesn't need $1.5 million, but hey, he's taking it from Elon. More power to you, Don.
And great content for a show, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, like we're losing our value, the promise of America, and now people don't even really want to party with us. FIFA is reportedly considering moving the 2026 World Cup matches from the U.S. to Canada due to strict U.S. visa restrictions affecting up to 43 countries, including qualified teams like Iran. So folks are saying U.S. policies violate FIFA's principles.
Oh, wow.
Of
Isn't
inclusion.
that something?
Mhm.
Well,
And so
wouldn't that be a slap in his face if they did move it to Canada?
I mean, really, but guess what? You know, in California, we were looking forward to that. It was going to boost our city's economy. Small businesses would be able to thrive and make money. And we have all these people coming from across the country. So it just doesn't affect his old ass. It affects, you know, the United States and how we thrive as a country. And so if we lose it, but I love the symbolic gesture though. It'll show him something. Next to be the Olympics. They'd be like, we're not coming here no more.
We're not coming.
Now, this is we were talking about travel yesterday, Stacy, and how this administration is moving. This story right here may shock some of you guys. Delta Airlines is actively incorporating artificial intelligence, AI, into its pricing strategies. Now, they're moving towards a system that aims to personalize ticket costs for individual passengers. Now, the AI system will analyze your travel history, online behavior, and other digital signals to estimate what individual passengers might be willing to pay for a particular flight.
Wow. Well, go ahead and analyze me. I'll pay $2.
But it's not going to be like that. They're going to analyze, you know, you talk about you go to all these conferences and things like that.
Right.
They're going to factor in all of that, you know, in your social media habits and how you spend your money. And then they're going to determine with that how much you should pay for an airline ticket.
That's why, you know,
that's wild.
Me and Amtrak remain good friends. Me and the Accelercar remain good friends.
Yeah, I mean, this is, you know, this is all, like I'm saying, TSA. It's not about TSA. It's not about putting on your being able to wear your shoes. It's not about having bigger size containers. This is a conspired effort between the travel industry to gouge regular citizens. And this is also what I mean about, you know, remember back in the day, flying was a luxury, right? Everybody couldn't fly. I remember my grandmother, my grandparents, they took road trips. They drove, or like you say, they took the train. You know, flying was a luxury. Now
Right.
flying is like Greyhound.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Exactly.
not, it's kind of like
Exactly.
Greyhound, but they're taking you back to where only certain people will have that luxury because guess what? You got to pay your medical, you got to pay your student loans. They want to gouge you at the grocery store. Now they want to gouge you with airline tickets. They just want to be luxurious all by themselves.
Yeah. MB says his uncle paid everything with cash. That was a time. Yeah. Lot of folks back in the day didn't believe in credit.
Okay. Well, we talked about relationships earlier at the top of the show. So let's have another story about it. And this one is according to Pew Research. 1 in 4 women say they'd rather stay single than teach another man how to treat them. For a man, emotional laboring relationships has become exhausting for women. And experts say this growing sentiment is part of a broader shift where emotional boundaries and self-respect are prioritized over partnership at any cost.
Wow. That is woo. Listen.
Like, I don't have
All
time for that
look,
emotional drain. That's what they saying. I'm
look,
single. I
look,
ain't saying that. I'll take
look.
some emotional draining, okay?
How about how about speaking of relationships and speaking of Dawn, how about me and Dawn was having a whole lot of fun like so many other people with the CEO and his HR head getting caught out there at a Coldplay concert yesterday.
Mhm.
I mean, just spread all throughout the internet. He got relationship problems for sure, and so does she. They both were married with kids. Did you know about this story?
Oh yeah, we talked about it yesterday on the
Oh, we
Shade Room.
did.
No, on the Shade
You
Room. That
did.
was like one
Okay.
of our top stories.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was
Dawn
crazy.
and I was cracking up. We were writing the mix there, sending each other messages about.
Yeah, no,
You know, Dawn
it
got
went
some great takes. I love hearing her takes on stuff.
it went wild. It went like
That was
wildfire
their
across
fault.
social media.
That was
Yeah,
their fault. If they didn't react, it would have been missed.
right.
But good they reacted. They got caught. They got busted. And
They
his
got
wife,
caught. Go ahead.
did she remove her last name from her social media after that?
Yeah, because there were a lot of commentary around the situation. To your point earlier in the show, everybody has an opinion about, and it's an important one, and they want to put it out there. But this just didn't affect these two people. People started digging into who's their mates, their children, and so then their families became part of the story, and they didn't ask for that. It didn't stay on these two people. That's why she removed her name. I mean, they started coming for her. They started looking for her.
That's horrible. But the meme I like best was the one with purportedly of his wife and his kids where the kids are asking, "Mom, how did we get so rich?" And her response was, "Your dad went to a Coldplay concert." So he looked like he literally tried to crawl under a rock.
I mean, yeah.
How do you take your mistress, your side piece to a Coldplay a concert in which it is you got tens of thousands of people there? How do don't you want to go somewhere in a little quiet speakeasy type thing? I mean, you go out. You asking for trouble and you got it. I'm glad they found the trouble that they got.
But the only reason, one of the main reasons why it went viral is because they hid. I mean, because think about it. Everybody else that was on the Jumbotron, that didn't go viral. This went viral because of their reaction to being on the cam. And then Coldplay saying they must be the only reason why, because they having an affair. And it went viral. If they just would have stayed cool, nobody would have even saw it.
And the girl with them was, oh my gosh,
she was cracking up.
She knew they was busted. She was like, "Yeah, this is a secret I've been wanting to tell everybody. Now I don't have to tell nobody. Everybody know."
Yeah. So see, a man can be exhausting. This
now,
woman is probably going to be the 1 in 4.
one last thing on this, I have to ask you because I know y'all covered it on the Shade Room. The statement that came out, I saw something that really wasn't his statement. Was that his statement? Did you guys verify that that was his statement or
No,
not?
it was his state. He did
It
release a
was.
statement. Yeah, he
Okay.
did. He did release
Blaming the
a statement.
Jumbotron and Coldplay.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what most guilty people do. They don't take accountability.
Good. Nah, that was horrible then. I mean, he blamed them for making a quote, as Dr. Joni says, making a private moment public. That was trash.
Yeah, but at a public event. It's a
Right.
public event.
At a public event. Anyway, I didn't mean to hijack your headlines, but that was
I
since
mean,
you
that's
brought up
not
the-
that's not hijacking. That's just expanding the conversation. That's all.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next story. The ESPYs, the biggest night in sports, was held this week, and Simone Biles was a major winner. The acclaimed gymnast took home 2 awards, bringing her total ESPY wins to 6. She won for Best Championship Performance and Best Athlete in a Women's Sports category. Now, if you recall, Biles won 3 gold and 1 silver medal, which helped the U.S. gymnastics team to win their first title since 2016. Now, other highlights included Best College Athlete, Women's Sports, my girl, Juju Watkins. Best Team, Philadelphia's Eagles. So they were the Super Bowl champions last year. We know Jalen Hurts, he was the all-star because he didn't show up to the White House because he has something better to do. Best NFL player, Saquon Barkley from the Philadelphia Eagles. Best NBA player, Shai Alexander from the Oklahoma City Thunders.
Yes.
And of course, they're the NBA champions this year. And best tennis player went to Coco Gauff. Now, since we started talking about white folks, one of the biggest upsets that a lot of people are talking about that didn't win WNBA women's player was Caitlin Clark. She lost. Some people were excited about that, and some people didn't give a damn. That's why.
Why do Coco Gauff? Why does she look like she always presents to me as go ahead and try me. She always looks like she got them arms too. Try me.
Yeah.
Not Coco Gauff, Simone Biles, not Coco, Simone Biles. She got them arms that, oh man, you know she's an athlete. And if she hits you, you're gonna feel it. You're going down.
For sure, for sure. In more news, Henry Louis Gates Jr. has presented the Pope Leo, with the family tree tracing his Black ancestry. Now, the Finding Your Roots host shared a photo on Facebook from a private meeting at the Vatican where he and his wife presented Pope Leo with an official copy of his family tree, marking the first public acknowledgement of the Pope's lineage, which includes Black folks. Okay, so it was also revealed that the Pope is a distant cousin of Madonna. Gates also tweeted that. So not only does he have Blackness in him, but he's a distant cousin of Madonna.
and isn't the Pope like the epitome of Madonna's biggest hit song or first hit song, like a Virgin?
I thought she. Well, I was like, no, because she did do a song called "Like a Prayer."
Like a prayer, yes. But listen, this is a question for you, Niel. RNG asks Clay. Going back to the ESPYs, he said Clay Thompson and Meg Thee Stallion dominated the ESPY Awards. He's asking, what is the tea on that?
Oh, she's dating him. She says he treats her nice. That was her response. He treats her nice.
So that was the only qualification.
Well, I mean, and then they had pictures of the history of all the other guys she dated. And so they were like, well, maybe, light is right. I don't know. But yeah, she said he treats her nice. And so, they have been playing on social media where she posts a picture, he be far on the back. And so they finally went public at this event right here. That was like their first official public debut.
Wow.
And since we're talking about a little gossip, so last night on the show on TSR Live, Krishan Rock popped up.
Oh,
on the show. You know who that is, right?
Yeah.
Blue face, bless her little heart. and she just popped in. We had DJ Sky Baby from Baddies on, and I get
Oh, she got a tattoo of him on her face.
Yeah. So
Okay.
apparently she's friends with one of the baddies, and so she popped on, and we were having a conversation about should prostitution be legal, but because we were talking about the Diddy trial.
Mhm.
And we're having this conversation, and she just breaks out and says, I want to pray for Diddy. And
She
we
said she wanna
had
do what?
pray. We had
Oh,
prayer
okay.
for Diddy.
Oh,
It was
Lord.
the wildest thing ever. I was like, what is happening right now?
Right.
But
Oh,
yeah, it was
my.
very, she wanted to pray for Diddy, and she wanted to pray for what's
Did you
the
ask her
other-
why? Did she want to? Anybody ask her why she wanted to pray for
Yeah,
Diddy?
we were talking about the situation, and she just felt like, we shouldn't be judging, because she's found the Lord now, and so
Okay.
she wanted just to pray for his family. She wanted to pray for all of the people involved. She wanted to pray for his situation. And that's what she did. And they were like in Tory Lane, they were like in free Tory Lanez too. I was like, oh my,
God.
oh my.
Oh my. They just went everywhere on that
They
one.
went
huh?
everywhere, and they chimed in, the SZA and Nicki Minaj situation.
Oh God. What is the
Nick-
deal with that?
The question we had last night is Nicki the new Kanye?
Oh gosh. Is it that bad?
Well, Nicki has been going off on everybody. She's been going off on Jay-Z, Rock Nation. She took
Yeah.
aim at TDE. SZA just said we're in retrograde, and Nicki took off on her. I mean, it's just, I just feel like some days, like every week, we don't know what we're gonna get and from who. It's Donald Trump and who else? It's the Trump clan administration and who else? People are just losing their minds.
Oh gosh.
They
Oh,
are
God.
losing their minds.
She
Um,
Dr. Marilyn says she is going to ruin him. I think she's talking about Meg and
You talking about Meg?
Clay.
Dr.
Yeah,
Marilyn,
no.
are you talking about Meg?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't know Meg she doesn't have other than the whole thing with Tory Lane, some people was in one camp, I didn't know she had like that type of reputation. She's not a Kardashian.
Who?
Is she-
Meg the Stallion?
Yeah, she's not like them. Is she? Like she ruins men?
No, I don't think so at all. I don't think so. Oh, did you just say the Kardashians ruin?
They ruin appetites, men, and everything else. You ask me, the Kardashians.
No, I think that what's happening in the bigger conversation is that men do things that are not right, but there's this lack of accountability that women are taking, and some women are just speaking up about it. You know what I'm saying? There's accountability to always take on both sides. And there's just never accountability. And a lot of that has to do with the Me Too movement. But if we're going to be able to move forward, accountability has to be taken. And I see a lot of men now that what's happened with Diddy, a lot of men are speaking up now and saying some things. And so are women. Just accountability. Nobody's saying that you're wrong. Nobody's saying that he didn't do that to you. But where is your accountability in the situation?
Right. Okay. Wow.
And so we have to remember, this week we lost a giant. The Congressional Black Caucus and Missouri are mourning the loss of Bill Clay Sr. Now, Clay was a founding member of the Congressional Black Caucus, and he helped build that into the powerful force that it is today. He was a civil rights leader and Missouri's first African-American congressman. Now, Clay died on Wednesday at the age of 94, and the Congressional Black Caucus and a lot of civil rights organizations are paying homage and celebrating the life of Bill Clay Sr.
He said Clay, ORNG says Clay has light-skinned male attitudes. Those attitudes are worse than light-skinned women tendencies. What is that? Uh-oh.
I don't have nothing. I don't know.
Wow. What a Friday this has been. Go ahead, Neil.
Okay, and then last but not least, what to watch this weekend? And so it has to go to the WNBA All-Star Weekend. Yesterday, the ladies started showing up. They look fabulous from Aja Wilson to our girl Angel Reese. I know Caitlin Clark will not be participating. She's saying due to an illness, and it's happening in her home state. Where her team plays, Indianapolis. But Paige Beckers. So this weekend it'll be fun. July 18th through the 19th. ESPN as well as ABC will present it exclusively with multiple platform coverage. Support women in sports. And if you love basketball and women playing it, then of course ESPN and ABC is where you should be this weekend.
Oh, okay. Is that all our headlines? I would give you a black fact because we got to close out this Friday. It's been a heck of a Friday morning. Let's go into some black facts on this date, folks. And it was alluded to earlier, and it can't be alluded to enough. In 1918, Nelson Mandela, the legendary anti-apartheid activist and president of South Africa, was born. Mandela became president of the very nation whose government that had imprisoned him for 27 years. He had been the impassioned voice of including all of South Africa's racial groups in the government and in the life of the country. During his years as president, of course, Mandela oversaw a wide range of progressive social reforms aimed at reducing long-entrenched social and economic inequalities in South Africa. Among the measures carried out by Mandela and his ministers included increased attention to healthcare and housing. After he left the presidency, he became an advocate for a number of social and human rights organizations. Of course, Nelson Mandela died on December 5th, 2013, after battling recurring lung infection. He was 95 years old.
Mandela Day, another day to celebrate Black excellence, the Black experience, and we shall overcome because we have overcome. Okay. I have some Black history nostalgia for y'all this morning. On July 18th, the year was 1992. Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown got married. And guess who was at the wedding?
You was there?
Donald Trump.
Oh.
I wasn't expecting that.
I thought you was going to say you was there.
No, I put it in the chat. There was a picture. He was at the wedding. There was a picture of him with
God.
Houston. Now,
so that one was bound to fail.
Whitney Houston told Vanity Fair earlier in the year of 92, I never wanted to be married. Then a few months after, 800 people watched her wear a $40,000 French lace dress to tie the knot with the king of pop and R&B, Sir Bobby Brown.
Don't say king of pop, king of R&B. Keep it there.
Well, at that time, he was the king of pop and R&B. I'm rolling with Whitney, okay? There was nothing during that time. Bobby Brown was the king of everything for her.
Oh, Lord. For her. Goodness grief. What a marriage that was. Then that TV show they did. Oh, my God.
And see, that was when reality TV was first getting started. We weren't used to seeing people play out their lives on TV. They were one of the pioneers of reality TV. Whitney and Bobby.
My gosh. You talk about a train wreck. that show was a train wreck. People watched
it gave us insight. We didn't know it was that bad. I think that was the thing. We didn't know it was that bad. And I think we also realized that, a lot of people blame Bobby Brown. But then this is when we began to find out that Whitney kind of turned Bobby out. Bobby was smoking weed and a drinker. And then it got a little more intense once the two of them got together, because Whitney Houston's brother was on TV and said that he's the one that turned her out to the drugs in New Jersey.
Yeah, Whitney. People, you're right. You got an inside look at what I'm sure Whitney didn't want you to see, and didn't realize she was showing it to you. She was struggling with something. And,
right.
Bobby, you know, and I said it then. I'm no big Bobby Brown fan. I appreciate Bobby Brown, no big Bobby Brown fan, but I kept saying it then. I kept when they was saying, "Oh, Bobby did this to Whitney," you know, he turned on to drugs. I'm like, no, Whitney's doing drugs because Whitney wants. That's
To
Whitney
do.
Houston.
She was
Yeah,
doing it before he came
before.
into her life.
Yeah.
And Dr. Patricia and Dr. Joni are saying it was a terrible show. It was. There was one episode where he went and pulled out.
Yes. Yes. And listen.
You know they was high.
You right, because you can't say that was love.
Well, that is a display of love. It won't come out.
Oh Lord.
You know that is a display of love. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my
You know, you
God.
talk about you want your wife right next to you. How far will you go?
I listen. She constipated. She got a problem. Better get some X-Lax. I ain't pulling nothing out of nowhere.
But was also too. We loved Whitney and Bobby. That song, "We Got Something in Common." Oh my gosh, it still hits this day.
Oh gosh, unbelievable! I saw them. I met them at the. If you remember, going back in the day, used to have the VH1 Divas show.
Mm-hmm.
And Whitney performed. Bobby was there, and got to meet them there backstage and stuff, and at the after party. But it was they interesting folks. Interesting.
But the thing about too that I really love Whitney Houston forever is because you know they wanted to make her, you know, Clive Davis wanted to put her up here, and she was like, "I'm a Black woman, and I want to be with my people." You know, you make a record with Celine Dion. I want to do one with Faith Evans and Kelly Price. She was a home girl, and everybody from Mary J. Blige to Faith Evans to Kelly Price, they all talk about how she was the girl's girl. She was the girlfriend.
Well, you know, Hollywood tried to, you know, take over. They tried to make her that, you know, not homegirl. You know, even the Bodyguard stuff. It was a great movie. You know, it was good for her to have that role and stuff like that. But she resisted that stuff.
She
you know,
did.
and good for her on that front. But my gosh, you know, she's one of those just gone way before she should have been gone.
Yeah, I mean, my goodness, we would need. I mean, I love Whitney Houston, but one thing, it's so funny. I used to be Bobby Brown's #1 fan. I'm an any candy girl for life.
Did you get a new edition Bobby Brown button on your sleeve? Like
I had the posters right on. I had all the posters, everything. But when Whitney Houston married Bobby Brown and all that happened, I'm like, I'm so glad she married him because he would have been a problem for me.
Oh.
I'm so glad she did. But no, I used to love. I was at the Arsenio Hall show when he was there. When he was on 227, I was there. I snatched.
He was stalking Bobby Brown.
I snatched the towel out the girl's hand.
Lord.
I was there. I was a tenderoni. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Bobby's still out there. Is he? Oh, he married now though, right?
No, yeah, he's married.
Okay.
But he's married, but I still go see New Edition when they do their residency in Las Vegas. You can always count on me, Candy Girl for life.
Oh, okay. There you go. All right, folks. Our Black-owned newspaper of the day is the African American News and Issues newspaper. The African American News and Issues was founded by Roy and Cheryl Melanson in 1996. The purpose of the newspaper, they said, is to address current and historical issues that are impacting the African American community. The African American News and Issues newspaper is the largest African American newspaper in Texas and one of the largest in the nation. The family is considered a pillar in the African American community, and they continue to be a voice for the community through the newspaper and the work and advocacy that they continue to do on a daily basis. So that's our African Black-owned, I should say, newspaper of the day, the African American News and Issues. They're in San Antonio, Texas, by the way.
Oh, nice. Orange G over here got the women all upset in the chat. And then talk about light-skinned women tendencies. You know, it's Friday. It's Friday. Let us be us.
and listen, y'all can get him tonight on his swag show tonight on YouTube. So check him out tonight on YouTube, the Orange G swag show, Swag Sports, and y'all can let him have it
for,
That'll happen.
for sure. And the news doesn't stop just because it's Friday and we won't be here tomorrow and Sunday. You can always find out what's happening from the Black perspective at blackpressusa.com.
There you go. And we will be back on Monday. Thanks for watching. Happy Friday, everybody. Have a good weekend.